The power of self-control is immense. I have my window down. I don't know if I'm gonna sound like loud enough, but I'm gonna project my voice a bit, you know. But like I said, I gotta read my script because I didn't memorize it all, so it's not gonna be as much eye contact, you know. Sorry, I'm gonna get right into it. But like I said, the power of self-control is very immense. Um, as you can see in Galatians chapter 5, verse 22 through 23, it develops as we spend time fellowshipping with God and practicing our obedience towards Him. Sometimes we would rather God control us and make us do the right thing, but He wants us to rule over our spirit. Proverbs chapter 16, verse 32 says, "He who is slow to anger is better than the mighty, and he who rules his own spirit than he who takes a city." It takes self-control not to get offended, not to become angry every time somebody doesn't do something the way we want it done. Self-control is needed over our thoughts, our words, and our appetites. But once we master our own spirit, we are considered to be powerful in the eyes of God, stronger than one who takes a city. Let me explain a bit. Why is self-control so important in our walk with God? Because it is foundational to every aspect of our spiritual life. Without it, we are left vulnerable to every temptation, emotion, and impulse that comes our way. But with it, we can live a life that honors God and reflect His character to the world. Let's start with the heart of Proverbs chapter 16, verse 32. In biblical times, conquering a city was considered one of the greatest displays of power and success. It shows strength, strategy, and leadership. But God is saying that ruling over your own spirit, being slow to anger, and exercising self-control is an even greater achievement. Why? Because ruling your spirit requires internal strength. It's not about external victories, but about mastering the internal battles that shape who you are. Self-control touches every area of our life. Like I'd say our thoughts, for example. The battle of self-control begins in the mind. Your mind is very powerful. What you think, what you say, it goes a long way. You are who you are because of what you do and who you are. Or I am who I am because of what I do. I forgot how the quote goes, but you know what I'm saying. Hopefully. Uh, like I said, the battle for self-control begins in our mind. Our thoughts influence our emotions, decisions, and actions. Without self-control, it's easy to dwell on negative thoughts, resentment, jealousy, fear, or pride. That pulls us away from God. 2 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 5 reminds us to take every thought captive to obey Christ. When we control our thoughts and align them with God's word, we invite His peace and wisdom into our lives. Another aspect will be, like I said before, our words. Proverbs chapter 18, verse 21 tells us, "Death and life are in the power of the tongue. The words we speak can build others up and tear them down." How often do we regret saying something in anger or frustration? Self-control helps us pause, reflect, and choose our words carefully. It empowers us to speak life even in challenging situations. And I want to say this a lot because I really mean this from the bottom of my heart. Please continue to only ever speak life over yourself and others. I mean, like, making jokes, I get that, you know, but like, jokes go a long way, and sometimes you think they're harmless, but what if that joke still, you know, harms that person, or they take it deeper than what you meant, you know? Speaking life over yourself can take you like a very long way, because you can go from being somebody shy with anxiety or no confidence at all, and you tell yourself, "Oh, I'm confident, I'm this, I'm that." Or if you have any insecurities, you know, you can tell yourself, "I'm beautiful, I'm perfect, I was made in God's image." That takes you a long way. You notice yourself, you'll start to change, your life will start to change, and later on you'll start to flourish, you know. But yeah, another example would be, oh my, our appetites and desires. Whether it's food, money, or ambition or pleasure, unchecked appetites can easily become idols in our lives. Philippians chapter 3 verse 19 warns us of those people, and I quote, "gods in their stomach." People who are ruled by their desires instead of spirit. Self-control helps us keep these desires in check so that they don't take place of God in our hearts. Another one would be our reactions. Life is full of moments that test our patience. Why did I say test like that? Life's full of moments that test our patience and emotional stability. If someone offends us, circumstances don't go as planned, or we face unexpected trials, without self-control, we react impulsively with anger, bitterness, or despair. But when we are slow to anger and quick to forgive, we demonstrate the strength that Proverbs chapter 16 verse 32 speaks of. We reflect God's character and bring peace to situations that others could escalate. So how could we develop self-control? I say, one, stay connected to God. Self-control is not something we achieve on our own. It's a fruit of the Spirit. That means it grows in us as we stay connected through God's prayer, worship, and studying His Word. John chapter 15 verse 5 reminds us that we are a part of Him. We can do nothing. I'm sorry, I said that wrong. Apart from Him, we can do nothing. So without God, life's not going to be what you think it is. It's going to be like you're going to face obstacles, and regardless, truly, when you start living your life more towards God, it gets harder, but it also gets easier. Like there's obviously always going to be challenges and things that you face, but at the end of the day, God only lets us go through those challenges and things that we think may harm us, but at the end of the day, they always either bring us closer to Him or strengthen our relationship with Him. Practice obedience. Self-control is built one decision at a time. Each time we choose to obey God instead of giving in to our impulses, we strengthen our ability to walk in His ways. Obedience trains our spirit to align with His will. The third one would be to rely on His strength. In moments of weakness, we must remember that God's grace is sufficient for us. 2 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 9. You can go read that. And when we feel tempted or overwhelmed, we can call on Him for help. He provides the strength we need to overcome. The fourth one would be to be patient with yourself. It's going to take time. Everything in earth, or everything through our life, it takes time. Growth takes time. We won't always get it right, but each step of progress brings us closer to the person God created us to be. As Philippians chapter 1 verse 6 promises, He who began a good work in you will bring it to completion. The reward of self-control, and this is where I'm going to end it off at. When we master our spirit, we exercise freedom. We are no longer slaves to our emotions, impulses, and desires. We become people of peace and wisdom, able to navigate life's challenges with grace, and most importantly, we honor God. Self-control may not always be easy, but it is always worth it. It brings strength, stability, and spiritual maturity. So let's pursue it daily, knowing that as we do, we reflect the power and presence of God in our lives. And like I said in the last video, man, if you watched it all the way through, I just want to say thank you. I hope that you can spread this, show this to somebody else. Gosh, I'm saying a lot. But yeah, hey, you like the little, you feel me? You feel me? But yeah, man, I hope you got the message, bro. Real stuff. Wait. I need a thumbnail. That was so weird. I'm sorry.